I've got a couple of new tunes in the works right now that should be dropping over the next few months or so, and like anything else, I am always looking for ways to simplify that start to finish process of releasing music. For the last several years, I've used the same mastering engineer, and I've always been really happy with the masters that I've gotten back from him. But I've also been intrigued by a lot of these online mastering services that seem to simplify the mastering process, but still deliver really high-quality masters. The site that I think a lot of us have heard of is LANDR, and they recently reached out and asked if I would be interested in trying out their mastering service. So in today's video, I want to take LANDR Mastering for a spin, and I want to compare LANDR's masters to the masters that I have from the mastering engineer that I like to use. For context, the mastering engineer, Fred, his mastering credits include some pretty serious bands and artists, so I feel very comfortable saying that we will be comparing LANDR Mastering to a professional mastering engineer. Thank you to LANDR for supporting this channel by sponsoring today's video. Even though LANDR sponsored the video, they do not sponsor my opinion. And as always, I don't ever work with a video sponsor whose product or service I wouldn't personally use myself. So now that we've got that all out of the way, let's dive in. Now, just for a quick little crash course on mastering, mastering is essentially the last step in your process. Once you have your song completely mixed, the mastering process is meant to take that mix, polish it, and optimize the song for consistent playback across all systems and media formats. So whether you're listening on iPhone speakers or a top-of-the-line sound system, the sonic quality of the song will be the same. Mastering is one of those things that can be a little tricky to understand, and audio mastering has changed a lot over the last several decades. LANDR's website actually has some great materials that I was just browsing as I was doing my research for this video, and this video in particular is really great, so I will link it in the description below if you're interested in learning a little bit more about mastering. But I went ahead and took the liberty of uploading a final mix of one of my songs, and I thought it would be cool to just check out this LANDR Mastering together. I have no idea what to expect. I've never used this site before, so we're kind of experiencing this for the first time together. So let's check this out. A super simple looking interface, uploading my song and having LANDR process the audio didn't take long at all, so really easy to use. But let's take a listen. Don't mean it's really over. We fade in the morning light. So you can toggle between your original mix and the master, and it looks like they select a portion of the song for you to kind of sample the mastering. So that's interesting. So this is a cool feature. You have this volume match option that allows you to, as it says here, preview your original master at the same volume and compare with more accuracy. So let's check that out. Very cool. Let's check out these styles, and if you hover over this little information icon, you can learn a little bit more about what each of the styles do. Cool, so I actually think these all sound really pretty good. I'm probably going to steer away from this open style just because the mix itself is already pretty bright and already has a lot of presence, and I think this open style brings a little bit too much of that forward. But I actually really liked the sound of both of these two styles, so let's just take one more listen and toggle between these two. Okay, I think I'm going to go with warm just because I think it feels a little bit more stylized. Balanced definitely feels a little bit more neutral to me, which for a lot of instances is probably the choice that I would go with. I just really like what this warm style is doing to the low end. So let's move on to loudness. Pretty straightforward here.
It's really over. We fed in the morning light. If you wanna stay. Now I watch the moonrise.
Honestly, medium feels like the sweet spot to me. Call me Goldilocks, but that one feels just right. The low really doesn't do much for me. And then the high is just bringing out a little bit too much of that low end for my taste, which could be from the warm style that we chose. But this warm medium feels really good to me. Let's compare it to the original quick.
Don't mean it's really over. We fed in the morning light. If you wanna stay.
It sounds good. I really dig it. So let's create master. And now we get to choose a format. Now we're going to talk about prices and subscription plans in a second here, but these 3 different formats will vary in price depending on what plan you're subscribed to. Obviously, as you go down the list, these increase in price. For the purpose of today's demonstration, I obviously want the highest quality master that I can get. So we're going to go HD Wave, and it's mastering. It's spinning. I don't know what it's doing. It's all in the interwebs, but it's mastering.
A few moments later.
It's done. That was super quick. Took less than 3 minutes. So real quick before we take a listen, let's just look at some of our options now that we have a mastered track. You do have an option to do some mastering revisions. You can fine tune your EQ, adjust your loudness, protect against sibilance, and refine your sound for the perfect final master. So here, LANDR is just going to ask you a whole bunch of questions, and then they will revise your master. So that's a really cool feature. LANDR also has their own distribution service, so kind of like a one-stop shop here. So we are going to download our master, and I think it would be fun to do a little blind listening test between LANDR's master and the master from the audio engineer. So I'm going to play both tracks for you. I'm going to switch between track A and track B, and you can decide which one you like better.
If it's over, don't look over your shoulder. Prepare what you're leaving behind. If you wanna stay, the night's colder. Don't mean it's really over. We fed in the morning light. If you wanna stay.
All right, so what do we think? Which one sounds better? Write in the comments below before you figure out which one it is, right? A or B. They're definitely different, but they both sound good. So it's really just down to a matter of preference if you ask me. So same thing, but this time I'm going to show you which master is which.
If it's over, don't look over your shoulder. Prepare what you're leaving behind. If you wanna stay, the night's colder. Don't mean it's really over. We fed in the morning light. If you wanna stay.
So I'm definitely impressed. If I'm being honest, my expectations are exceeded. I was definitely expecting the LANDR Master to be good, to be solid, but this is a quality master that I would definitely feel comfortable putting my name on and releasing out into the world of music. I'm also going to drop a link in the description below that will take you to a Google Drive folder where you can listen to both of these masters full res. So if you're into that, check out the video description. Real quick, let's take a look at some prices and we'll get you out of here. So you have a couple of options. You can either purchase a subscription plan or you can purchase a single master. Obviously, if you're releasing a lot of music, the subscription plan makes more sense. If you're releasing a track a month or less, I would say the single master is probably the way to go. Down here, depending on what file format you choose, your price obviously changes. Honestly, I would not recommend the MP3 option. You either want to go the WAV format or the HD WAV, but the MP3 format is there if you're really on a tight budget, I guess. So for this WAV plan, depending on how many masters a month you want, your price obviously goes up. If you're a producer and you want to offer like free in-house mastering or build that into your price with your clients, this would be a really cool way to go. And then over here, if you purchase a single master, these are your prices. $10 for a single master is a really good price. I by no means want to put any mastering engineers out of business by saying this, but working with a mastering engineer is going to cost a lot more than that. There are always advantages to working with a human being, but LANDR is a really quick and easy and efficient way to get quality masters at a really affordable price. Now, one caveat that I'm noticing is those revisions that I showed you earlier, those are only available on the Wave and HD Wave plans. So you have to have a subscription plan in order to access that revisions feature. And that's a pretty good feature. So definitely something to consider there. These other services up here, distribution, sample library, sessions, they all come at their own individual costs as well. Let me know in the comments if you want to learn any more about these services. I'm definitely interested in their sample library and maybe comparing it to some of the other options out there. So look out for that video. And of course, prices are always subject to change, but I will definitely do my best in the description below to keep you up to date with all of the current price information. Well, all right, my friends, that is going to do it for today's video. If you are interested in learning more about LANDR or you want to check out their mastering services, definitely visit the description below. I've got a 20% off coupon code for you as well, so definitely check that out. Those links are affiliate links, so thank you in advance for helping to support the channel. A very special thank you to my friends at LANDR for partnering with me today and sponsoring this video. But listen, my friends, until next time, my name's Patrick. I'll catch you real soon, all right? Peace.